A recent New York Times opinion piece has faced backlash for speculating on Taylor Swift's sexuality. An individual with knowledge of the matter, but not authorized to speak publicly about it, told CNN that the piece drew the ire of those close to the pop superstar. Because of her massive success, in this moment there is a Taylor-shaped hole in people's ethics. A source close to the situation, who prefers to remain anonymous in order to speak frankly, informed CNN. This article wouldn't have been allowed to be written about Shawn Mendes or any male artist whose sexuality has been questioned by fans. There seems to be no boundary some journalists won't cross when writing about Taylor, regardless of how invasive, untrue, and inappropriate it is, all under the protective veil of an opinion piece, the person added. In an extensive 5,000-word article in the Times opinion section, editor Anna Marks highlighted a series of LGBTQ references, some explicit, others perceived, that Taylor Swift has incorporated into her songs and performances. Marks proposed that Swift may have been discreetly trying to communicate her connection to the queer community for years. In isolation, a single dropped hairpin is perhaps meaningless or accidental, but considered together, they're the unfurling of a ballerina bun after a long performance, Marks wrote. Those dropped hairpins began to appear in Ms. Swift's artistry long before queer identity was undeniably marketable to mainstream America. They suggest to queer people that she is one of us. In the face of widespread anti-gay laws, Taylor Swift has actively shown her support for the LGBTQ community, making concert spaces safe for LGBTQ individuals. However, she maintains that she is not personally a member of the LGBTQ community. During an interview with Vogue magazine, Swift declared that she is merely aiming to be a strong supporter of the LGBTQ community, especially when their rights are being challenged. Rights are being stripped from basically everyone who isn't a straight white cisgender male, Swift told the magazine. I didn't realize until recently that I could advocate for a community that I'm not a part of. In the introduction to her re-recorded 1989 album, Taylor Swift mentioned that she kept female friends around her to fend off constant speculation about her romantic relationships with men she was seen in public with. If I only hung out with my female friends, people couldn't sensationalize or sexualize that, right? I would learn later on that people could and people would, she wrote. It's not typical for a credible news organization like The Times to release an article speculating about someone's sexual orientation, especially a renowned figure who has continuously denied such allegations. These articles are often deemed unsuitable, and The Times faced criticism for choosing to release its piece on Swift. Marks, aware that the article's claims were debatable, addressed critics preemptively by writing, I know that discussing the potential of a star's queerness before a formal declaration of identity feels, to some, too salacious and gossip-fueled to be worthy of discussion. I share many of these reservations, Marks wrote, but the stories that dominate our collective imagination shape what our culture permits artists and their audiences to say and be. Every time an artist signals queerness and that transmission falls on deaf ears, that signal dies. Recognizing the possibility of queerness, while being conscious of the difference between possibility and certainty, keeps that signal alive. In other words, according to the columnist, Taylor Swift's fame would have the ability to keep rumors alive, and this would be more important than their veracity itself or the artist's sensibility. For the New York Times, this is a true epic fail, undercutting its credibility for the purpose of reviving a mere gossip and, evidently for some, a hard hope to let die. For the conspiracists of the GAYLOR theory, Travis Kelce's presence must really be too cumbersome,